Okay, all right, again, I'd like to start the meeting at 7:15. This is the meeting, the town board meeting of October 9th. And thank you for everyone being here. As you know, we've had a very disturbing, disgusting incident with one of our elected officials. No one can understand and tolerate this kind of attack. No one can understand and tolerate this kind of behavior in New Paltz. This is unacceptable. And yes, we're public officials. Yes, we're public figures. That doesn't mean you get to defile someone's home and involve their family. It is not acceptable. It's not tolerated. So I'm very happy for all of you to be here tonight. We do have some guests. Thank you very much.
I made a motion, I'm going to repeat for the second time. I make a motion to suspend the agenda we have and to start with public input, given the massive interest that's here that are interested in talking about this issue.
That's what I'm doing, Edgar.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. We want to thank our guests for being here, District Attorney Manny Nedji, and also our County Executive, Jen Metzger, who's also here. So we would like to ask Jen Metzger to come up and speak first, and then we will go through the rest of the people who'd like to speak.
We also have the mayor of the village here as another elected official.
District Attorney Nagy contacted us earlier today and asked to
If
be
you
on
want
the
to come
agenda.
over here,
So
so that Al will pick you up.
Okay. I'm here as a friend and former colleague of Essie Lewis, who is absolutely one of the most incredible people I know. And this is very emotional for me right now. I can speak to you all, but I also have to speak to the board. Essie served as this county's chief diversity officer for 2.5 years while she served on this board. And she now devotes herself full-time as the executive director of the Margaret Wade Lewis Center for Black History and Culture right here in this town. I am deeply, deeply troubled by the hateful and threatening vandalism of her home, attacking her young daughter by name, which I think is very likely meant to threaten Essie, a public servant, a respected community leader, and fearless and tireless voice for racial justice in this community and in this county. This was an attack on her and her daughter's sense of safety and belonging. We pride ourselves on being a community that looks after one another. I ask this board and all of us to stand firmly against acts of hate and intimidation. It's great that we are all here tonight to stand with Essie, but it takes constant vigilance and constant effort to ensure that this community is truly a safe and inclusive one for everyone. This hateful act cannot be left to fester. Our community's health and well-being depends upon it. I know you're issuing a statement of support tonight, but this cannot just lie. It can't just be tonight, because there is something here in this community that we need to address. Thank you very much.
Okay, Jeff. So we will be tabling the rest of the agenda for another time. We will not be proceeding with this meeting tonight. This is important. Everyone here needs to be able to say what they want to say. We need to hear what you want us to hear.
Louder.
We will be tabling the rest of this meeting for another time. We want to hear what you want to tell us, and we want everyone else to hear what you have to say. This is important for our community. So we've asked for people to sign up so we can make sure we don't miss anyone. We'll call your names and have you come up. Thank you. Is this the only sheet?
Yeah, nobody really.
yeah, well, let's leave it up there so that as people,
Yeah,
okay,
there's other sheets.
as you're inspired, please. So, to invite Nanny up.
So, Mr. District Attorney, would you like to speak next? Or do you want to wait and hear what people have to say?
I think you should wait. I prefer we waited.
Or you can do both.
I prefer to hear from the public than from the district attorney who indicted one of our police officers recently.
Yes, sir, I am one of the public in this town. I am one of the public in this community. This is my home. New Paltz is my home. Ulster County is my
Go
home.
ahead.
That's my sister.
Go ahead.
That's my
Go
friend,
ahead.
okay? I made an arrangement as the district attorney about 4 weeks ago to come before this board to speak, to talk to the community, to listen to people's questions, to do a question and answer session. That was distributed to the community so that people can come. I thoroughly do not expect that everybody came here to hear me speak. I know that. And what has happened in the last few days has changed all that. What happened is grossly offensive to me and to everybody that I know and love and care about. When I heard about this, it turned my stomach. I know there's an investigation going on. And I hope that investigation turns up who did this. But the outrage I have as a member of this community, yes, I went to college here. I lived here. I worked here. So when I say it's my home, I am not bullshitting you. Okay, I am telling you, I came from Nigeria to here, and this is the place that nurtured me into what I am today. So to see one of us hurt, and to be told I have to be treated like a public official just because I am a public official. No, I am a public official, but I'm also a human being that lives here, that feels what goes on here and feel what she is feeling. So I will start with that, but I will answer questions when that opportunity comes. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, yeah, please keep signing up if you want to. I'm gonna start with the people who signed up already, and then if more people want to speak, we'll do that. So the first person I have is William Murray.
I'm speaking for William.
Okay, wait, do you want to come up here so we can? Just so that the thing can catch your voice.
Okay, I'm Amber Merkin and, friend and neighbor of Effie's and, here to offer my love and support and also outrage at this event. And, I'm reading a statement that was prepared by William Murray, who's one of the New Paltz village trustee, to the New Paltz Town Board and from the community members in support of Essie Lewis and her family. New Paltz and neighboring community members stand united in outrage over the recent discovery of vulgar and demeaning graffiti vandalizing a member of our community's home. This hateful act disrespects not only the dignity of individuals attacked, but all of us. Our community values inclusivity and respect for our neighbors. Certainly, hatred like misogyny and racism have no place in New Paltz or our society, and we collectively condemn this abhorrent action. We encourage New Paltz to speak out against hate and to support those affected by such intolerance. We hope that law enforcement apprehends the vandals who attacked a highly respected member of our community and that they receive just punishment, and counseling as to why their actions are deeply wrong and will not be tolerated. Signed by Ulster County Executive Jen Metzger, Ulster County Deputy Executive James Amenta, Ulster County Deputy Executive Amanda Lavelle, Ulster County Chief Diversity Officer Dina Suggs, Ulster County Legislator Megan Sperry, New Paltz Village Trustee William Murray, Ulster Activist, UAC, Indivisible, New Paltz, Board of Trustees, Dr. Margaret Wade Lewis Center for Black History and Culture, Elting Memorial Library and the Elting Board of Trustees, Hudson Valley LGBTQ+ Community Center, Resisterhood, Arbor Vitae School of Traditional Herbalism, and over 70 community members. Thank you.
Thank you. Lumina?
Thank you, Amanda. I'll come here, so hopefully everybody can hear me. I'll use my preacher voice. This week, Essie Lewis, a lifelong resident of New Paltz, nurtured here, a leader in our community, and a voice for equity, had the sanctity of her home violated, complete with sexual threats made against her 9-year-old daughter. Those of us who choose to serve in public capacities accept that we will receive, legitimately or otherwise, the pent-up ire and frustration of those that we serve. It's an inevitable part of the work. Apologists will try to claim that that is what happened when filth and violence were spray painted on Essie's home. They're wrong. And we together have a moral responsibility to refuse to participate in soft peddling. I was going to say hate-filled speech and actions, but it's a hate crime.
Yeah.
It is a hate crime. Follow my own advice. I will soft pedal nothing. Over her years of service, Essie Lewis has calmly, consistently, and compassionately brought into light those tendencies most communities, ours included, would prefer to let fester in the dark. Together with others of our neighbors, she and I worked on our EO 203 committee to hold our police department to the highest standards of ethics and equity. Work that I, for one, fear has been allowed to founder in a culture of nice that starves us of good. And still, Essie Lewis has held firm. It is always the people who hold up difficult mirrors to their communities in a spirit of love who receive the worst treatment from those same communities. As I would say on a Sunday, no prophet is respected in her hometown. I wish it were surprising to find that a woman of color goes home to find her house graffitied, leaving her and her child not just feeling, but being unsafe. It's not surprising. I wish I thought that without overwhelming pressure, the rest of us would rally and have the courage to call these actions the hate crime that they are. I wish I believed that rather than becoming defensive, our community leaders would ask themselves, how might our actions have given the message that this behavior is acceptable here, and what can we do differently going forward? Our national realities have given a green light to fear-mongering and intimidation. Our local insistence that there is nothing to see here, y'all know it's true. Maybe you don't. It's true. subtly but surely invites the same silencing. So as always, we have a choice. Shall we lead with love and justice, or shall we follow with platitudes and pretense? It is my intention to stand firmly with my colleague, my friend, my sister in the struggle, Essie Lewis. And as you can see, we do not stand alone. So where will you be? And how are you responding when hate is obviously so close to home? I ask it as an open-ended question, but we need it to have specific and actionable answers.
Yes.
Thanks.
Donna?
For anybody who doesn't know, I'm Stonna Weisberg. I'm a trustee of the Village of New Paltz. I read this during announcements at the beginning of the village board meeting last night, and I'm going to read them again. A member of our community had their home violated with violent language, spray painted where she and her child could see. The child's name was included in the disgusting comments. And as a fellow member of this community, I want to say on the record that this is completely unacceptable and monstrous. Under no circumstances can anyone desecrate another person's home. There is never justification for this. And threatening a child is abhorrent. Knowingly vandalizing a Black woman's home is a racist act. This is not new here in the United States, even here in New York, even here in New Paltz. The fact that this was done to the former Ulster County Chief Diversity Officer who has been working diligently for our community here in New Paltz and Ulster County in numerous ways makes it feel particularly targeted. I unequivocally denounce whoever did this and look forward to justice being served. That's what I said last night. I'm going to add restorative justice to that. And in addition to this, I'm not only a Village of New Paltz trustee, I'm also the village's liaison to the police commission. As I am those things, and as an independent citizen, I ask, the previous police chief was doing undoing racism trainings for the department and town per the EO 203 work that Essie did with Limina and others, including Albert, who I see here, and Diana. He was funding it for both from the police budget. So the police and the town of New Paltz were doing these trainings for anybody in the police and town who worked for the police and town per what they were supposed to do, which was told to us by the work of 5 BIPOC people, that's Black, Indigenous people of color. This is 5 Black people who did ridiculous amounts, hours and hours of diligent, really well thought out work. And I urge you all to go onto the town website and read the work that they did, because you will learn so much about history, about what's going on now, and about how we can do better, and we must listen to what these people have told us. So again, I say, the previous police chief was doing undoing racism trainings for the department and town. He was funding it for both from the police budget. Are you, the town board, going to do undoing racism this year in 2025? Will it be in the budget for next year, for 2026? And lastly, I have noticed, and I'm sure I'm not alone, that we have less Black officers on the streets of New Paltz.
Are we monitoring this? What are we doing about this? Thank you.
Larry Badendike? Larry Badendike?
Hello, I'm Larry Badenbeck. I'm sure you don't know me because I don't run for politics and I have no political ability. My staff told me that I was very behind, that I could make more enemies this month than I'm allotted, and wow, I'm big crowd here. So, I'll try to stay quick. I'm here simply to call for as much practical support as we can for Essie. First of all, I don't know Essie very well. I've had maybe 3 short conversations with her. But the thing that happened there, it has to concern us all, because in fact, the country is at war. It's a civil war that we did not end in 1877 has been going on. And if we can't find, tackle racism, then we are heading down the hill somehow. What I want to do is encourage both the town, the village and the town to use whatever resources they have. That means simply being sure that whatever her home is covered by cameras and whatever security that we can do as a practical matter. And that should also include the house that she's trying to rehabilitate for. That house is easily accessible to anyone who stops in to get their gas at the, you just go around there. I didn't realize that. And I'm driving by and there was this big banner there saying, you know, there she is, we're raising money for it. That means she is a highly visible person and she's vulnerable, because what's going on here is not simply a war against blacks, it's focused on African-American women. What Trump is doing is simply the highest people suffering the most, losing jobs, will be African-American women who have somehow found the job to get there. And that appeals all the way through. And we can address this. And we cannot stand for New Paltz putting up with this. So yes, I want the police department to do whatever they can to find the bastards who did this. And I want them to come up with a really secure plan for protecting both her home and the house that she is trying to work on. Whatever we can do, we can do, and we can do this. We also certainly need, and the way we find a real discussion on how racism actually works, because racism goes on independent of color. It's invisible and it's insidious and it affects us, and we can have a debate about that. And we have to have a debate about that. Now, I don't know what she's going to do. I don't know her well. I don't know how much she wants to fight. Her first responsibility is herself and her daughter. But I think what we can assure her that if she wants to fight, that a lot of us will stand behind her, alongside her, whatever the hell she wants. That's okay. I was not only for you, it's for all of us. If we let these people get away, and I would like to see, I don't know, I'm not a politician, I don't know the mechanics here, but maybe support for the house she's trying to do, we, you know, for the town. Whenever they come out, there's gonna bounce back at them and it's gonna be stronger. So this is, look. Let's get off our shiny, whiny, middle-class heinies and. Much do. And, okay, background, well, I'm a working class person, and I define working class as people without college age, education from the family. But I grew up in Orange County, Walden, New York. I never spoke to a person of color until I got to college, not because I was against it, they weren't there. But I remember Newburgh, and I know what has happened in the Hudson Valley, from the Hudson Valley all the way up to cities and towns, all the way over to Buffalo. They were ghettos somehow. I remember that swimming in the New Paltz pool, and they closed down that pool. And if you know the figures on who's dying from drowning, well, white little kids are drowning, but for every 2 white kids who drown in the pool because they can't swim, 3 black kids drown. Okay, I voted against the proposal for a swimming thing, not because I think everyone should be able to swim, but it was only for a swim team, not in the fact that swimming should be part of the education, because people die if you can't swim. I almost drowned when I was a kid, super young, okay? So there are lots of things we can do, and we have to look at how this works, not simply in New Paltz, but it's the whole Hudson Valley, because what's going on is massive gentrification. And my little circle up there on the way, I ended up somehow with a beautiful home, but the homes are now going and selling for $1 million. We're getting this, what are they coming up here for? What's happening now in Kingston, what's happening in all these cities is there's a conflict over what Ulster County should be like. We have to join this, and we have to be sure that people of color, and not only them, we had a meeting a while ago, and there were some wonderful people here speaking Arabic. There was this one little baby running up and down, and, anyone wanted to elect him for something. My background is quite simple. I'm a retired college professor. I taught at Nassau Community College for 30 years, and been up here for 30-some years. And I have no ambitions, like you can tell. I couldn't run for office. I'm not going to do that, but there are things that we can do, and I want to do it. I was in the Army, and I spoke Arabic, and I was a Middle Eastern. I was there. I did that. And, I'm appalled by what's happening in Gaza, and I think we should fight about that. And I'm appalled by the fact that the university has absolutely gone into silence mode in terror of.
Yes.
Okay, so we can have chairs here calling the president of the university. There are ways, practical ways, we can fight back, and let's do it. And let's have a real.
Thank you. Thank you, Larry. Thank you. Thank you, Larry. Thank you, Larry.
I don't know what Effie's gonna do, how much she wants to fight. If she decides, she gotta protect her child, that's okay. But this is the fight we have to do. It's our fight and our country, and we can fight it here. And we can't let anyone get away with this racist activity without having to bounce back and in pain. So that's why I say, see if we can help with the financing of the house. See what we can do. Let's go and do something. That's all.
Robert Hancock.
I saw that. Hi. I'm here tonight for a friend. One of the most caring people that I know in this community. And if we don't stand up for our neighbors and our friends, what are we doing with our lives? This recent unacceptable act of racism and hate vandalism is not in isolation. People think that this, not in New Paltz, not in our town, not in our community. This is not true. This summer, multiple BIPOC students from SUNY New Paltz shared experiences of racial slurs, even items being thrown at them as they walked through our town. This was happening during our summer orientation. This is our students' first interaction with our community. Some of the students walked into Walgreens and had racial slurs spoken at them. Some of our students walked into McDonald's and Some young white men were making monkey noises at these students. Until the manager had to step in and kick them out. Some young white men driving a pickup truck threw garbage at some of my students, striking one of them with ketchup packets and chanting racial slurs at them as they drove by. This is happening in our town, our community, to the people that we are trying to welcome into our town and our community. Essie is not alone. And we need to recognize and name what is happening. Our students do not feel comfortable reporting this to our local law enforcement. Partially, I think because they were new here. This is their first interaction with our community. So how do they know who to trust and who they can speak to? These grotesque acts are increasing in our community and cannot be tolerated or go unidentified, unnamed, or without actionable response. So I ask the board to initiate the creation of an anonymous reporting list for town police to share with the state to track trends, acts of racism, hate crimes, and acts of violence towards our BIPOC community members. We need to protect each other and stand for each other. We can't wait. We see it, we hear about it in the news. It's here. It's now. And yes, it's in New Paltz. Let's act.
The folks are in the hallway. People that are in the hallway, please welcome in here so you can hear. Okay, so I would suggest people come in out from the hallway, and there's room to stand here some other places to hear better. Okay, folks?
They just can't block this area.
We've got to be able to get an exit if we have to.
There's chairs there, yeah.
Chairs over here.
Maggie, do you want a chair?
Folks, feel free to walk in.
Maggie, you
Some more.
want to sit there? Yeah, you can just, go ahead and just sit there, yeah.
Sit over
Come over here and put it right there.
Only by the park.
Step.
Paul,
There, folks, come towards me. There are seats right over here and here.
Are there any more out here that I can grab?
No, all the chairs are here. Yeah, you can put that down on the.
This is your house.
Paul and Carol, there's chairs over there. Are there still seats?
Yes. There's a chair here.
There you go.
Is there anyone else who'd like to speak? If you'd like to speak, come up. I've gone through the list. It was very short. There's another list.
Come in, please. There's chairs here.
Thank you, Manny. Okay. Marion Potter.
No, I don't.
gonna go ahead. My name is Marion Potter. My middle name is Kit, so a lot of you may know me as Kit Potter. I'm the Director of Arts and Cultural Affairs for the City of Kingston. I am also a resident of High Falls, New York. When I got this news, I'm like Jim, I couldn't stop crying. And I'm still crying right now. But when I saw these pictures, the first reaction was shock. My second reaction was rage. And again, I can't stop crying now. Why? This is my spirit daughter. I am known in this community, in a lot of communities, as Auntie Kit, because I guess I act like everybody's auntie. But my motto is, if your mama ain't here, I'm your mama. Okay? And when I met Essie, I immediately felt that spirit mama. And what this individual has done now is attack my child. And you attacked a child. And when you attack a child, this whole community should be outraged. And I don't want to hear about graffiti. Because every time you hear about graffiti, you hear about a hand slap. Yeah. What is the punishment for hate crimes? Graffiti. Would the defending attorney say, oh, well, they have their First Amendment rights? Would the defending attorney say, oh, this person has a mental illness? Well, why is this person running the streets? Because a lot of times when you see crimes like this person has done it before. And I also am outraged because if this was a celebrity, if this was a famous person, we would have that perpetrator right now. Because that's just how this works. It's just us right now in this little town. So where's the investigation? That's my first question. And how far is the investigation going to go? And right now I am here to tell my spirit daughter, I am sorry. But I'm also here to say, pray for that person because that person is deprived. And God knows what has happened to that person to make this person do such a terrible thing to a child. But I am also here to say that if there is a fundraiser that can help us, because a lot of time money talks. And I'll be the first one to put my money down saying, I will put money down to a reward that helps us find this person, track this person down. Now you're hearing from an angry person right now because this is my child. And they went after one of our kids. And I want this person tracked down and I want justice and I don't want to hear about graffiti. I don't want to hear, oh, it's a hand slap and they can do community service. That better be some damn good community service. And it better teach them a lesson because otherwise they will do it again and again. And I'm also tired of hearing that New Paltz is racist. I hear it too much. Why? Why is racism being tolerated? Why did this gentleman that just spoke before me say all the things he said? It's unacceptable. And something has to be done. And I don't mean just talk. I mean action. And again, I'm a woman of my word. My money's good, and I will be the first one to donate to a fund that is going to reward somebody to help us find this perpetrator and bring him to justice. Thank you.
Anthony Dandridge.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
If
go
I
ahead.
could interrupt,
Okay.
and I'll be very brief. I will be the second person to pledge money to see that this person is arrested and convicted. My family and I are pledging $1,000. Tell us where to send the check, and it'll be there. And I hope that other people here and elsewhere in our absolutely wonderful town will do the same. Thank you.
Peace, family. I really appreciate y'all, and I think that this is a nice little segue as it relates to what has been said thus far. As I was sitting here next to a brother of mine, he mentioned in my ear before anybody said, he said, "We need a reward. We need some money behind it." And then we have a couple people come up in that same spirit, talking about we need to take this seriously in that way. My name is Anthony Dandridge. Matter of fact, do me a favor. Can everybody just take a deep breath in and out? I'll focus As I walk through this world, I focus more on healing than hurting people. When I first heard this, I had somatic spine. My body got shook. My knees got weak. As I walked, I'm a faculty member at the second oldest Black Studies department on the planet, right here at SUNY New Paltz. I've been up there for 8 years. One of the first people I met was Essie. Like one of the first 10 people that I met on campus. I probably met 5 in the department, and then I wound up meeting Essie too. And we've been family ever since. But I want y'all to know how I walk through the world. I don't need to know you to love you. And if you know me, you heard me say that 100 times. And I mean it though. If you take care of land, it'll take care of you. If you take care of air, it'll take care of you. If you take care of water, it'll take care of you. If you take care of other people, it'll take care of you. I think that it's particularly important, which was already been said, another nice little segue, that we don't reduce this just to graffiti. Within African culture, it's this word called Noma, and it speaks to the power of the word. Everybody's heard that phrase, sticks and stones can break your bones, but words will never hurt you. That's not true. It's not true. Words can do more damage than somebody punching you in the gut. So we need to take this seriously. Nomo speaks about the general power of the spoken word in African thought and understands that words are sacred, created, alive. I'm speaking to you right now. I literally am changing the world. I have small pieces, but it's important for us to understand that when the world changes, one step at a time. Small stuff counts. That being said, words should be used with care. They should be used to heal, inspire, and call communities into being. When misused, when spoken with malice, cruelty, and disregard, Nomo becomes a weapon. Words can cut deep, deeper than blades, carrying energies that wound the soul and fracture relationships. They linger in the psyche, echoing long after they have been uttered. Because of this, words must be treated as sacred instruments of creation, not destruction. To speak is an act. To name is to shape. Thus, we must remember the tongue holds the power of both life and death, and those that use this power carelessly is to desecrate the very essence of Nomo, desecrate the very essence of us being in this world. As I wrap it up, I've been up here for 8 years. I like to create community, and a lot of times I'm from the city, Philadelphia. People ask me, well, how do you like it out there in the boonies? And I call it boonies, right? I say it's different, but not deficient in value. I live in Stone Ridge. I got cows across the street, but I love a cow. I love a hummingbird. But also, as I'm up here, I have students in the past that have walked down Main Street and said, this guy put up in the pickup truck and called us nigger. I have students that were outside of TOPS, that are in the LGBTQ plus community, holding hands. They were followed as they walked outside of TOPS. When they got in their car, they were surrounded by 3 pickup trucks. And I also have people that have, because of this incident, reached out to me and said, I can't believe this is happening in New Paltz. And I'm like, what kind of world do you think we live in? Like, stop that, because that caused me pain too. What do you mean? What do you mean this can't happen? Right? But also understand that we all have responsibilities to bring about positive change in the world as we start to move forward. And in addition to that, as I circle back and center on Essie, we have a responsibility to amplify, because I already know that she has support and has a community. We need to amplify and insulate not only her, but this town and this community, and allow that to reverberate into the rest of the world from harm. Let's focus on healing. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Albert Cook.
I had a lot of things to say. I kept typing them on my phone and erasing them. A lot of things that were said already, I very much agree with, and I appreciate the voices and the passion that is here in this room. I just want to add that Black people that grow up here, when they leave, they usually don't come back. The history of New Paltz has been that Black people leave New Paltz. And that's a long history. I've spent the last 5 years doing a lot of study about New Paltz locally, and there used to be a lot of Black people. But they weren't here because they wanted to be. And when they could leave New Paltz, they left here. And the history of New Paltz has been that Black people continually leave here. Essie and I, our relationship to each other is very interesting because Essie grew up here in New Paltz, and I grew up here at my family from Philly to New Paltz when I was 5. Okay, actually Philly to Kingston and then to New Paltz, Highland. And as a teenager, Essie's mom asked me to come talk to the young people at her church. We formed a strong relationship. She was a mentor for many years. And when I saw that Essie came back to New Paltz, my heart really leapt within me. I didn't know her as a young person that well, but the fact that she came back made my heart leap with joy because I knew she was bringing back with her a legacy from her mother of strength and talent and courage. And we need that. And when I saw the steps that Essie was taking in the community, my heart was overjoyed because especially in 2010 when her mother passed, I said, man, that's a giant to leave us. And Essie has been walking in that legacy. Essie is more than just Essie Lewis, this person. She represents the carrying on of great legacy here. And that energy and that presence needs to be protected.
Yeah.
I cannot express more sincerely that Black women are always, not recently, in danger in this country. And public-facing Black women are very much in danger in this country. So I don't want us to think that this is something, I don't care really who has, I do care who has done it. What I'm trying to say is that there is an environment in which that happens. And so I don't want us to think that solving the crime is solving the problem. So, the last thing I'm going to say, I have so many things I want to say. I can't just stay up here talking. But the last thing I want to say is that I need for us to seriously consider the weight and the burden that rests on public-facing Black people, Black women's lives. How taxing, how dangerous it is and is. And not treat it like sympathy because, it's something inside that's driving Essie. You know that? It's a strength developed over time. You know, you wear, it's like, I remember as a child when I felt like this cloak was draped over my shoulders and it was my blackness. I remember that moment. And it's a weight, and sometimes it feels too much, but you get stronger as you walk with it. You know, Essie's not a baby. Essie knows how to take care of herself in this world. I mean, this is great. Okay, what I'm trying to say though is there's responsibility outside of Black folk to figure out why Black people need Newports.
Yeah.
And not to just feel badly about it, but do things. I heard a lot of things said. Not leave Black people to be the only people leading about it. Because, you know, generally, Black people lead themselves. And there are reasons for it. So Essie, you know, we're here, we love you. Okay, we are more than immensely proud of you. We are very upset about this. It's not gonna overwhelm our love for you. It's not gonna make us act out of our mind, but we're very upset about this. I don't want you to think that you're ever by yourself, and I don't want you to think you got to risk yourself, your child's safety. You don't have to do nothing but live and love in this world. Okay? So, you know, we're here for you. And it's not just today. Okay?
Thank you.
Maggie?
Well, I'm walking like my grandson. Anyway, thank you. Thank you for hearing us. Essie, my heart's with you. I love that dance your daughter was doing. It's too bad it had to end the way it did. I'm here because like most of you, I don't need to repeat how awful this is. I don't need to repeat that our heart is with Essie. I think I really want to say that, let me go back to what I really thought. I don't want to reiterate it, but I really think that offering cameras is great. Offering police vigilance is great. Offering the assurance that someone is going to be captured and someone is going to be punished for this is important. But I think that we need, as a community, to tell ourselves, we must protect ourselves. We cannot rely on police. We cannot rely on money to catch somebody. I love that I have a police that I can call. But the reality is I don't call the police till after it's happened. We need to develop a system, and I asked the town board to help us develop a system where we can protect ourselves. There's things called neighborhood watch. There's things called community policing. I like to think of it as community watch. We watch ourselves. Our neighborhood, I live up on Sunset Ridge. There's no reason why I and my neighbors can't develop a process of making sure that when I go away, you watch what's happened with me. When I'm alone, and you know I'm alone because my husband's away, that you know that I know that I'll be protected. And I can do the same for you. And the town and the police must have a system that they can train us to help ourselves. Because there are, I don't know, probably 100 people.
150.
150 people. So I ask you as a town board to come up with a mechanism that will help us train ourselves and help us develop a system that we can help ourselves. I want to know my neighbors more. I want to feel that I can help them, and I want to feel that they can help me. So I hope that suggestion can be considered, and I welcome you. If anybody's interested in that, please come to me, and I'll take your name down, and we can talk about that. But at this point, as a protester, as an activist, when I went to protest, they say, we protect ourselves. The police were all around. We protect ourselves. When we get arrested, who are you protecting? Who are you protecting? We must learn to protect ourselves. the police call after the fact. We have to stop this before it happens. And Essie, you got our number.
Weldon McWilliams.
Am I supposed to face this way?
Yes, that's fine.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Weldon McWilliams. I am the chair of the Black Studies Department at SUNY New Paltz, but I want to make it clear I'm speaking for myself because I don't want to put anybody else in what I might have to say. But before I say that, I do know that we have some members of the Black Studies Department who came out to show solidarity for our sister Essie Lewis. Black Studies, if you're here, can you just stand, wave your hand, let yourself be known? And I think there's some students too. All right. It's already been mentioned how instrumental and how influential Sister Essie is to our department. The legacy of Dr. Margaret Wade Lewis to the Black Studies Department is well known. So we had a responsibility to be here tonight. I just want to say a few things and I'm gonna get out your way because a lot of the things that I've reached out to Essie when this happened and I asked, what is it that she would like? What is it that she needed? What is it that we could do in this form that would benefit her? And she shared some things, but I can tell that a lot of you made that call because some of the things she shared with me, you all mentioned here. So I won't repeat them. I'll just say a few things. When I first heard about what happened through a colleague, can I say this? I wasn't shocked. I was not shocked. And I think if you're honest, if I'm honest, if you're Black in America, things like this don't shock you anymore. Things like this just remind you that we're not as far as many of us would like to think we have come. So I wasn't shocked. Of course, it was upsetting to know that this had happened to a friend of mine. Essie and I went to undergrad together about, I won't say how long, but a long time ago, right? We found ourselves freshmen at the same university. Nobody at that HBCU knew what town we came from. I was from Waukesha Falls. She was from New Paltz. When we would tell friends where we were from, we just got together and said we were from Poughkeepsie. Say all that to say I was upset, I was shocked, I was disturbed that it happened to someone I knew, someone I loved, and that there was threats made to her child. Her child and my youngest are about the same age, so I felt that pain, I felt that hurt, but I would be lying to you if I said I was shocked because we live in a time now where MAGA has emboldened racists to be racist and have allowed cowards to be cowards. In the sense that if you are not comfortable talking about DEI, if you're not comfortable talking about race and racism, now there is an environment where you don't have to. And that goes from the highest ups to the lowest of the lows. That now you don't have to talk about it, you don't have to teach about it, you can pretend that there was never even an issue. And now what MAGA has exposed are not only the racists, but the cowards who now won't say anything about injustice. I am reminded not too long ago of students who protested at New Paltz. And many of them were arrested. 133. Thank you. And I don't know if the same outrage was there. But there were people who weren't speaking out about that. But it's the same environment that allows that type of thing to happen and be silent. I'm not talking about whatever side you're on the cup, but we had 133 students who felt the need to speak up and they were peacefully protesting, but they were arrested. That should have upset the city of New Paltz. Like it upset the Black Studies Department and all these other departments that stood in solidarity. There is an environment, there is a climate here that, as the brother said, creates a situation where what happened to our sister Essie can happen because of the environment, not because of just one particular act. A Black student was found hanging from a tree in Mississippi. And there is debate as to whether or not it was a suicide. I just want you to know, Black men don't commit suicide by hanging themselves in trees. So all of these things that we've talked about tonight, about how we're gonna help, how we're gonna ensure that we shift and change the environment, my sentiment is, damn it, prove it. Because it's one thing to be able to come in these moments where we're all upset and we're all feeling some type of way and we feel emboldened to make, whether it is an impassioned speech, something that's gonna impress you and it's gonna stay in your mind. But I'm at the point now where I just wanna say, prove it. Prove it. If we can put up money to find out who did this crime, we can put up money to build the Marvin Wade Lewis. We can put up resources to figure out why and who committed this crime. We can put up resources to figure out how we can change the environment so that people who think certain ways don't feel comfortable here in New Paltz. Because the environment says we don't even tolerate that level of thinking. So I'll say this, and this is just me and me alone. I will always choose freedom and liberation over my profession, over my job, over tenure. Black people have always struggled in this country, and we've always had to lose. Individuals always had to lose so the masses can gain. So I come in that spirit, and I say that I'd rather see the masses gain. And I'm willing to take a personal loss if the masses can gain. So New Paltz, let's prove it.
That was the end of the list, but does anyone else want to speak? Yes, please. Oh, Jaleesa?
My name's Tim Rogers. First, I want to apologize to Essie. I also want to apologize to everyone here. And I also want to thank you for coming out and showing your support. I think a lot of us are regularly proud of the fact that we live in New Paltz and we pat ourselves on the back. It's a progressive town, it's a thoughtful town, but it's not enough, right? I think of myself as someone who understands systemic racism. I think of myself as someone who understands misogyny, violence toward women. It's not enough. It's not enough. And Chair of the Black Studies Department, you're right, everything you said. It's not enough to say we understand intellectually. We have to do more. And I'm sorry.
And we will move on.
Thank you.
He emboldened me, even though, I'm not great with words necessarily, but, Michelle Riddell. And, I just, when he said, prove it, what's your name, chairperson?
McWilliams.
Weldon McWilliams.
Thanks for reminding us about our arrest, where we were brutally arrested, not just arrested, brutally with dogs and batons, just 2 years ago. And now students in New Paltz are scared to do anything.
Yes.
Anything in New Paltz. We were dragged away. My 80-year-old friend was dragged away and had to go to the hospital, and hardly anything was mentioned. But Essie's my baby and my across the street neighbor. And, I was really happy to see so many people the next day, you know, we figured out how to goof off works. And, and we worked for like 5 or 6 hours, and I was like, it's toxic, but we did it. And thank you, prove it. I just heard, and I don't know exactly the numbers, I'm really bad at that, but 5 or 6 of the Black officers that worked here were either fired or let go or something.
Yeah.
We can't let that happen. It happened though. Let's not let it happen. Let's figure out what happened and get them back. And also figure out a way where, another professor was talking about where there were racial slurs and McDonald's and stuff, and the pickup trucks were surrounding the people. Why aren't the cops there? Why aren't the cops finding, to let the students know, take down the numbers, take down these numbers, and the cops will be there. We need a good police presence. Yes, we need all of us, but we need a good police presence now. And I don't see that we have it. And I know that we did. And I knew very little about this until this week. And so I'm urging us all, find out what the hell is going on. And let's change that environment right here and send a message to our police department. Thank you.
Is there someone else who wants to speak?
My name is Marcia Cotton. I am a resident here. I am a parent. I have a child in high school and one who graduated 2 years ago. I met Essie through her amazing work that she does with our community. I met Essie during one of the great works that she does in this community, starting the Margaret Lewis project. I remember coming to one of the activities at the building, and I said, I'm going to bring my 2 boys, my 2 Black boys, to see this amazing woman who is setting up an example to our community, to our family. And the boys were reluctant, teenagers, but they came. But also, some of you, like Albert Hicks has expressed, we Black women of color, carry so much on us. I am an educator. I am a mother. Going through some stuff. I call Essie someone who I see, someone smart, someone who I believe can guide me in certain things. And I called her not too long ago for something that I'm going through. And I heard some things that she was going through. But then just a few days after that, I found out about this. And as a mother, I thought about her, what she experienced for her own child, to witness what they witnessed together. And it just broke my heart. And I just said, oh my God. And we were talking about why people like me leave this town. Today, I went to pick up my son, who was in college in Providence. He's visiting. And I'm going through some stuff. And I was telling him what Essie is going through. And I was telling him about an educator in our town, what she's going through. And I said to my son, I cannot wait for Mateo it's his last year. I want to leave this town. We have been here since 2011. My children have done all their school here. I have done in this town. And I have some really amazing friends, support, but there is so much hidden racism that is not hidden, really. So we're all so much afraid than ever. And my children, there were situations when they said to me, when I said, well, why didn't you say anything? But Mom, you know what would happen to me? And an amazing educator here at this town who's going through a really difficult time. But even though she's a younger mother than me, she said, but Marcia, you know what would happen? You know how they would be excluded. You know how they would be bullied. But I gotta tell you, all of us, just like the professor said, we need to continue, we need to take risk. And you know what? I don't know what could happen to me when I speak up, but we need to speak up. We need to stand up for Essie. We need to stand up for her child. So we need to forget about this fear. We need to come together and we need to take risks because so many have taken risks before us. And that's why we're here. So we need to continue. Thank you, Essie, for all that you do for us.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Dr. Shelton McVeigh Johnson, an assistant professor in the Department of Black Studies at New Paltz. And I start this by saying that I chose New Paltz for a number of reasons. I am not a New Yorker. I originally hail from what we love to say is the great state of Alabama. And so I've seen in my very short lifetime a number of these things which have led to me devoting my life to this type of work. And so I hear my department chair say, prove it, which is a thing that has to happen. We have to acknowledge that we live in a country that is diverse, whether you like it or not. And it is not going to change. It is diverse because of how we became a country in itself. But in recognizing that, we talk about the progress that must be made. That progress starts in very small spaces. And those small spaces become big spaces to the rest of the world. So when we look at things like the Montgomery bus boycott, when we look at the civil rights movement, all of those things happen in very small spaces. When we're talking about the Selma to Montgomery March, those things are happening in extremely small spaces that actually galvanize and change the world. So this incident is not small at all, but it's happening in a small space that can take the necessary initiatives, develop the necessary infrastructure to address what is going on. Because the sad part is everyone knows it. And there seems to be absolutely no shock in this room as to what has happened, which means that everyone is knowledgeable to a certain degree of what is happening in New Paltz. So as a teacher, I do not offer all of these other recommendations. I offer you a service. And that service is, I believe it is so important that we all, because we are human beings, because we have to work with each other, because we live next door to each other, because New Paltz is a space that I chose. I am 1,700 miles away from home. And I always tell people that I literally chose New Paltz sitting at a bar in Denver, Colorado at a conference when I saw the job first posted in 2021. But in order for this to move forward, I believe that I have to do my duty and responsibility, which is to educate. So therefore, I offer the town board, I offer the community, I'm willing to facilitate workshops on understanding race and racism in this country. Because it is only through that level of understanding that we can recognize what is going on in the community, but not just recognize it, figure out what do you do about it. Because unfortunately, we are living in a time, we're living in a country at this point in time where we have leadership that is seeking to turn back the hands of time. And although sometimes we think, we have no power at all, yes, you do. Knowledge is power, and if you open your mouth to what is going on, if you actually get out and address the things that are going on, if you hold your leadership accountable at every level, these things can change. The reality is most of America believe that we have moved into a post-racial society when we elected a Black man to the highest office in this country. The real thing is it exposed how far we have to go. Is that possible? Absolutely. So again, I'm offering to the town, the opportunity to sit through training relative to race and racism and how it manifests in this country and how we actually do something about it. Thank you. Thank you.
So I'm Heather Barton and I grew up with Essie. And I'm very happy she's come back. My background as a professional is clinical social work, and my specialty is in the mental health of young children. And there's something very poignant that Albert shares with us. The experience of being a Black woman and the level of danger that experience can be in our society. That Claude learned that at age 9. And a little louder, please. That her daughter learned the level of danger Black women experience in our society at age 9.
The person with that.
So I think when we think about the weight, brevity of this experience, what it says about our community, what it says about our community, what it says about our need to protect and stand up for and do the work for Essie and the children in this community. And also that the children in this community who are growing up with racist values, that they are in the McDonald's and driving the pickup trucks and doing the things we hear that they are doing. The adults in the room must teach the children in our community so that children like Essie's daughter do not experience what is abhorrent and illegal. What happened to them? The other thing I'll share is, as someone who grew up here and I came back, raising my own daughter here, I am shocked by how much it looks exactly the same as it did in the 80s when I grew up here and graduated in 96. Speaks to what Albert was sharing with us. It also is quite a disappointment as someone who volunteers with Essie, believing in the Margaret Wade Lewis Center for Black History and Culture, that year after year, Juneteenth looks exactly the same. And the numbers look kind of the same year after year. And I wonder, where is everybody? Where is everybody? Action. And please remember the children when we think about Essie's daughter and when we think about the children we're raising. And the children our children are friends with. What kind of friends are we teaching our children to be? What kind of community members are we teaching our children to be? I love you beyond words. Oh my gosh. We ride or die.
Hi, everyone. My name is Rita Worthington. I'm not a resident of New Paltz, so I hope I'm not out of turn speaking here. I'm actually a resident of the city of Kingston, but I know Essie. I met Essie when she was the chief diversity officer for the Ulster County. And I was the alderwoman for the city of Kingston. I served 3 terms, and that's when we met. And so I actually did not know that this meeting was happening tonight, but Albert Cook, he actually called me. I was on my way somewhere else. He called me, he said, "Sis, did you hear what happened to our sister Essie?" And I said, "I heard a little bit something about it, but I wasn't sure about it." He explained it to me and I said, "I gotta go." And so that's why I'm here, because I'm here to support you. I like to say, I'm so sorry about what happened to you and your daughter. But as I listened to everybody here tonight talking, I'm not shocked what happened to Essie and her daughter. I am shocked that it happened in New Paltz. I guess I didn't know the history of what happens here in New Paltz. I am shocked about that, seriously, listening to what everyone has been saying here tonight. And I heard a few people talking about changing the environment. Living in the city of Kingston for as long as I have been living there, not too long ago, and those, I don't know if anybody here lives in Kingston, but we've had our share of problems with race and biases and things of that nature. And when I ran for office, it's because I wanted to change the environment that was going on there. And so I sat on the police commission, and when I ran for office, I said, it's because we need to change. We need police officers that look a little bit more like the people that they serve in our community. And I heard someone get up and say, we need to do it for ourselves. That is true, but we also need our officers. And so I would urge the town board, I don't know if you're doing it here, but we did a policing accountability act. We put that together, and we also pressured our police officers or our policing department to hire Black officers and hire people of color so they can get out on the streets and do some community policing and get to know the people that they're serving, because it works. If you have children and people are usually, most of the people that they're arresting these days, they look a little bit more like us than they do our counterparts. And you need our children to start trusting them. And so if they're out there on the streets getting to know our children a little bit better, then, you know, it may not turn out as bad as it does sometimes. So I would just say maybe that's some steps that we can do to change our environment a little bit, maybe resources. Take advantage of our young brother that got up and said that he will do some workshops and do some implicit bias trainings, and it all helps. It all helps. And I think those are some steps that you can take to change the environment around here.
Sister, I'd like to make a comment.
Yes, sir.
Actually, as a member of the police commission, we took your police commission law and we actually juxtaposed it to our law, step by step, comparing all the things that you were doing in Kingston versus what we were doing in New Paltz. Unfortunately, our board is divided and we have not been able to move forward with the police commission. The issues of institutional racism in the New Paltz Police Department, the New Paltz Town Board here, and the New Paltz government itself. Essie and I have not been able to make the kind of headway that we need to. And this is public information. We read the newspapers. We have been at odds in public of this issue. But I want to acknowledge, and we actually spoke on the phone, which you probably don't remember, because I was trying to model what we are doing, trying to do here in New Paltz with your model from Kingston that included, you know, community participation, police accountability, etc. But the resistance has been incredible to the extent that I made a decision not to run for the New Paltz Town Board, SE has done the same thing. Our terms end December 31st, and who knows what will happen on January the 1st. So I hate to disappoint the public when you're asking the New Paltz Town Board. Whatever you're imagining is not what has happened with us. We have been in conflict over all these matters. And it's important that I speak. We have spoken, before in the newspapers, etc. That's why I expressed, concern about the district attorney who indicted one of our police officers without the town board knowing about it. So we have very serious structural problems. We have a decrease in black officers. And we have a terrible situation in the board of a divided board, basically Essie and myself against the other 3 board members.
In the divide.
Well,
End the
Thank you, Rita.
divide. End the divide. End the divide.
I'm Maureen Crocker. I have lived in New Paltz for many, many years. Essie's mother, Dr. Margaret Wade Lewis, was a very close friend of mine. I worked with Margaret. I worked with Dr. A.J. Williams Myers. These are all people from the Black Studies Department. Karen Cathers. Edgar and I and Dr. Margaret Wade Lewis and Diana were on a committee called Concerned Parents of New Paltz. You may have heard of us. We have been active in this community for many, many years.
35 years.
Thank you. And our group actually started over, there was a fight in the high school. And it was a white boy and a black boy. It had nothing to do with race. They were actually best friends. The police were called and the black boy went to jail for 9 days. Okay, our group formed around that. And we have, over the years, I feel we have really tried to make a difference. It's hard for me to hear the struggles are still continuing, but I know they are. I am the mother of black sons. And I can't tell you how many times my sons, who are adults now, were stopped in New Paltz and were mistreated in the schools. And how I really depended on Dr. Margaret Wade Lewis to come to school with me to fight these battles that I had to fight. And I just want to say, Essie, I am really sorry, but I hope that you feel the love that you're getting today and that there are people here that are going to stand by you. And I really feel that it's really important. Yeah, I'm aware of the pickup trucks. I hear the stories. And if the white people that are in here, if you don't have black friends and you don't talk to black people, things are not good here. And it's our responsibility, I feel. When I'm in town, if I see anybody making fun of an LGBTQ person, if I see people saying racist things, I'm gonna say something. It's not gonna happen. And I just want to say that I really feel that that's our responsibility to make our community better.
I'd like to make a second comment on the heels of Maureen, as you excuse me. I have been fighting this battle for 53 years. 1972, I spent 10 years at SUNY New Paltz as an assistant professor, fighting the question of institutional racism. After that, I served 6 years on the New Paltz school board, fighting the question of institutional racism and fighting at all levels, protests, lawsuits, etc. Now, in the past 2 years, I find myself on the New Paltz town board fighting the very same battle. And I had to turn this battle over to you. I'm approaching 80 soon, within a year, okay?
That's good, huh?
And the hope that I have from here is you cannot depend on any of those groups. Do not depend on them. It has to come from the community, organizing as we did in the 60s. And I think that the Margaret Wade Lewis Cultural Center can be an independent agency to do all of that, because there are structural impediments at whatever level you try to fight this battle. And unless you have individuals, groups of people supporting you, it is an incredible uphill battle, the way that Essie and I have experienced. And obviously what's happened to her has catapulted the crisis into a higher level. So I'm sorry that I interrupted that, but I needed to share that, because of what Maureen said. Because concerned parents have spent 35 years, in lawsuits, complaints, IEP meetings, etc., fighting this battle. It's a structural problem. We cannot do it without all of you participating in it.
I'm sorry, I'm feeling a little bit sick, but I, as a student, a Black Studies student, I wanted to share because graduate student. I wanted to share, I came here not feeling my best, and I've attended events with Essie. She has inspired me as a Black entrepreneur that has multiple business on campus. Many students know. Keep it raw. I'm gonna just say, as a Black woman, I'm tired. I'm tired of having to constantly work and not be enough. I'm tired of not receiving my flowers. Okay. Like, I'm sorry y'all to cry. No. Because the way that I've been feeling, this is not enough. And I'm so tired of hearing, as a Black woman, something's happening to us. And I'm just so tired of it. Like, the way that I'm feeling, I've been feeling like this for so many months. And I just want to give Essie her flowers because she deserves it more than anyone. Yeah. So I want everyone in here to give a round of applause to her.
Thank you.
Again, I am a Black entrepreneur, and I too, and I'm gonna say this very bluntly, I am tired, and this is just enough. The flowers that she has is not enough. She needs more, and we as a community need to do more. So what I am gonna do as a Black entrepreneur, any money, because I work hard for mine, and I know that you guys too, but any money that I get from any type of my businesses, I will dedicate to Ezzy to help her. And I will dedicate any money to find whoever vandalized her home, and guarantee I will pull money out of my savings account to do that. And that's what I want to say.
Not to repeat anything anybody else said. I'm Dr. Rose Rudnitsky. I taught for many years with Essie's mother. I was the presiding officer of the faculty at SUNY New Paltz. And I saw her mother struggle to keep that department in that college. And so I just have an observation here. This pervades everything in this community. The college, everything, it's pervasive. And we have to understand that it's everywhere. And we all have to work together to get rid of it. And get our humanity together. We're all human beings. I loved Essie's mother. And when I met Essie, I said, she's Margaret's daughter. And I've grown to really respect her and love her. I watered the plants at the Margaret Wade Lewis Center. Yeah, Karen started that and I picked it up. So please get together. Let's get together and do something great for this community and really heal this, because this was an atrocity. It was such an atrocity against such a wonderful person and a wonderful family. Thank you. Thank you.
Is there anyone else who'd like to speak?
I just have the question, if
I witnessed an incident like that person said about, at McDonald's, somebody, making monkey sounds when there is, people of color coming in. So, I would say, like you effing, whatever to this person, but doesn't help. What should I really do? What should any of us, what should I say? Should I try to get these people's names, license plates? I don't know what, we need to do something, like, what should I do? Like right then and there when I witness such a,
Definitely stand up and say something, get other white people to stand up and say things.
Can we ask our DA to weigh in on that one? Because we can speculate, but I feel like you might know.
This is the kind of question that I anticipated, that I wanted to come to this meeting to field any questions that people have. I still have some things to say here. But based on what you're saying, you as a human being, as a person with human dignity for yourself and for the people around you that you respect, you have a sense that this is something wrong. You can report it to the police. You can have the police look into it. They can investigate if it amounts to a crime or some kind of criminal offense. They can make an arrest. In order for them to make an arrest, it has to be something that gives them reasonable cause to believe that a crime has been committed and an identifiable person has committed that crime. That's very simple. When you are dealing with the power of the police to do something against an individual, there's a lot of constitutional and legal restrictions. It may not result in the way you think it should, but it helps to get the police involved and see what they can do. Sometimes when they get that type of information, they call my office. Some of the assistants in the office answer and take the call. Some other times they have an extended investigation where they come to the office to discuss what happened. We've had similar situations at the Temple Emmanuel in Kingston. We've had those postings and graffiti and other things in other parts of Kingston. Sometimes if similar things happen in a cemetery, places that really tug at your heart, that cause you pain, that, really affect your individual humanity. Get the police involved, and along those lines, it's important for us to trust the police on our side, and it's important for the police to trust the community and respect the community. It goes both ways, but that's a very important relationship to make that work. All right. So,
I ask you a question?
If you don't mind for a second. Obviously, what's going on here is very, very important for this community and for ESSE. Okay, so I am happy to come back another time for the question and answer that I had scheduled about 4 weeks ago to do today. I'll come back anytime that you want for that purpose, and people here are invited to come to it. It's supposed to be an open forum for the community.
Can I ask you a question?
For me, yes.
From what you've heard this evening, and the fact that that was the only African-American family on the block, do you believe the evidence rises to a hate crime?
In order to answer that question, I need to know who committed the crime. I need to see who committed the crime. The law asks a question of law for me to answer. I need to know facts that will help me answer that question within the law. Okay? There are so many variables that are not known yet, and hopefully the investigation will resolve all those, and we'll know. Once we know, then we can draw conclusions. Okay? I don't want to speculate because I don't know if there are reporters here. I don't know who is here. I don't want it to be like I am getting over my skis and firing up a
I
community and
respect that, but I would hope that soon we would hear from your office, perhaps, that, you've made a judgment on whether or not this rises to the level of a hate crime.
It's an attack on a child. And what does the law do for our children? And how does the law protect our kids?
as you know, I vigorously prosecute crimes against children. I have indicted a police officer for that. I have indicted a teacher for that. And I have no issue going after a police officer, anyone who commits a crime against a child. Okay? I've done this town hall in Saugerties where abuse of children, sexual abuse and others have gone on for some time. And we had a town hall. I answered their questions and put my foot down as to what will or will not happen when those things happen again. Okay? Children must be protected. No question about that. I started a One Life Only program dedicated to teenagers and young children, dedicated to children. It's because I have been a prosecutor for 35 years, all of it in Ulster County, 7 years with the New York State Attorney General's office, but still living in Ulster County and handling some of those cases in Ulster County. I have experienced a lot of things to know ways and avenues to try and help solve the problems we experience in the community. Okay? As a prosecutor, I am given the power to wield the hammer and destroy crime. Somebody gets arrested, I'm given a hammer to smack down. Okay? My first goal is to prevent crime. I don't want a victim, I don't want a defendant. I want to prevent it. If I can't prevent it, when it comes to violent crimes, yes, I will vigorously pursue them. Anyone who works for me in that office, I require for them to vigorously prosecute violent crimes. There are other crimes where, yes, I have a hammer, but not everything is a nail. And I have said that many times, okay? Each case, each situation depends on the facts and circumstances. Everything will be done and continue to be done to protect children. Obviously, this is an ongoing investigation, so I cannot speak to it because I don't want to put myself in a position where if there is an arrest or subsequent prosecution, there's an application for me to be removed. Okay? I don't want to put myself in that position because that's the task I have sought to do in this community. And I want to be able to do that task whenever the opportunity is there.
If you're done, I'd like to make a comment. Brian Revelle, fact, the Ulster County Sheriff, Juan Figueroa, is investigating the situation. So I don't know, and maybe our supervisor can tell me whether the New Paltz Town Police is investigating.
No, the sheriff is investigating.
Not the New Paltz Police?
The sheriff was asked to investigate. That's right.
Just so you know, from institutional knowledge, when this type of crime happens, one agency cannot really do the investigation to the degree that satisfies the curiosity of the community or the needs of the community. If New Paltz is investigating, they will need to reach out to the sheriff, they will need to reach out to the state police because you have no idea where the individual came from. So it's important to reach out to all the resources that are available to you. And I say that because I know that's how police works. Okay? If it's the sheriff, he may reach out to Kingston Police Department. He may reach out to the state police in Highland or state police in Kingston or Ellendale. So police resources across the county are available to investigate this type of offense and any offense involving children. I've had police investigators go to Connecticut and other states investigating crimes against children. I need the local police here, whether it's New Paltz or Kingston or state police or sheriff, to work in collaboration with each other to solve any and all crimes involving children. It's absolutely necessary.
I mean, I just,
Are there currently like special task forces or special operations aimed at crimes against children or hate crime?
There are, yes, there are state police dedicated to investigating such crimes. But I have to tell you, hate crimes specifically and crimes involving sexual abuse and molestation of children.
I need to add
Wait,
a
Edgar,
comment
we
here.
have some, we have some.
I will speak. Brian, this is related to your question. We cannot always depend on the police. Concerned parents in New Paltz, when they learned of a 21-year-old African-American who had been beaten up by one of our police officers here in New Paltz. He was handcuffed in the backseat of a car. He had been the victim of being punched in the face. And when we learned about that case, concerned parents contacted the victim. We actually reconstructed with him what happened physically to him. And then we pursued and got him a lawyer, Michael Sussman. And if it wasn't with that community participation, and even with that community participation, it didn't work out the way we expected. Paul Eccles, we had a local trial in the New Paltz Town Court, and he was exonerated from the false charges that the police made against him after beating him up, okay? Eventually, the case was settled in court, and the New Paltz police officer was allowed to quietly retire. So the point that I'm trying to make is we cannot put all our eggs in policing because policing is a problem. That's why we have police commissions who are civilians who make police accountable, where police are accountable to civilians. And we have been at odds now for over 6 months over our own police commission. And as all of you know, it was suddenly, to my surprise, abolished, and Essie and I were left out.
Edgar,
So I have to
this
say,
is just not
I have
fair.
to say that
You
I have to-
read the movement to
This-
disband the police commission.
It's not
This is not fair.
the problem that I have with the town board.
You were the one who started in January of this year. I'm sorry, this is just not
So
fair.
the issue
Stop. What he's
is,
telling
yes,
is
have a
actually the
police,
truth. So
but you
stop.
need
I
to
have the
accountability,
emails from
and the city
Stana
has
from
been
January.
organized
We were.
in some
She's
way
talking
that
about
concerns
disbanding the police commission in January.
Now, and we need a new start.
I'm really sorry, young lady. What are we arguing about here?
Talking
The truth.
I'm
The truth.
sorry, I understand.
Black people,
But-
and it was abolished out
Is
of
this,
nowhere.
is this,
At your suggestion, Donna, I have your email.
is
Please
this the
stop.
right moment?
Yes,
No, it's not.
absolutely. The
No.
community needs to know.
Can we-
Yes, please.
The lady is ready to speak. I'm sorry to interfere with
I
the
apologize.
proceedings,
Young
but
lady.
let's, please.
Thanks, Renee. Hi.
The bureaucrats have spoken, but let's get back to the topic of tonight, which is Essie. I met Essie like a decade ago. Time has flown by, and at that time, Clark was in her little stroller. When I met Essie, one thing I saw in her was all the love she had, not just for Clark, but for the people around her, for the people she hasn't met. She's literally the example of love and the embodiment of love. So whoever did this is messed up in the head. That's me being nice.
You're right.
And now I can say, because Essie's been doing this a long time, and even though I'm not in her position, I can kind of get where her mind was. She always crosses her I's and dot her T's to make sure she keeps herself and Clark safe. And now that piece is broken. So I see the bureaucrats are still bureaucrating, but what is the community going to do to restore
for peace. Because we can talk all the talk we want, but like how some other people said, we gotta walk the walk. I see. We got the problem, right? But the problem isn't just the problem. It's the events that led up to the problem, and it's how we deal with it in the post. And we have to keep posting. We can't just, oh, we've done everything and now everything goes back to normal. No, no more normal, because this is never normal. The fact that any community normalizes this is a problem. You know? I went to New Paltz. I mean, I've been going to New Paltz since I was 11. Not gonna say my age, but it's a long time. But I would always have to watch my back when I walked home at night.
Yes.
Not just because of who I am, but because I never felt safe even in my own college community.
Yes.
I knew the Black Studies department, but I can't have the Black Studies department walk me home. I had college friends, but how can I trust them, right? Because for the most part, other than going to college and whatnot, I never really got to interact in my community. I do consider the fact that even though I'm born in Kingston, I live in Kingston, wherever I go, wherever I work, wherever I am a part of that community. Right. I contribute in some way, shape, or form. And I found, because I live in a public facing job, talking to people, that talking to them and getting to know them and then getting to know me made me feel a lot safer. So I'm really glad that everyone came out here today to make Essie feel safe. But I still don't feel like that's enough. Because you guys are only a small portion. I mean, I can't even say everybody here that's actually from New Paltz lives in New Paltz, right? So only a small fraction of you here are actually from New Paltz. And the rest of them are out there living their lives. So what kind of steps can we take to not just make Essie feel safe again, but to make everybody feel safe again? Because I feel like, because this slid under the pass, and like I was here for the water fountain, and I heard about the cops, but like our situational awareness is in the gut. Like down in the ground in those sewer pipes, just trash. Because if you guys can't see this coming, like if this blew your mind, that's a problem. It didn't blow my mind. I heard, I was like, well, that's messed up. That shouldn't be my reason. That should not be my that should not be my reaction, right? Why am I not shocked? Because apparently New Paltz did not leave that impression on me that this could not happen. I would expect this in other places, right? But it happened in New Paltz. I can tell you this, my situational awareness came online when I was 5 in kindergarten. I went to a predominantly white school, and I never felt in any other class until that point. And I went to pre-K. Everyone treated me normal, but I go to that class and nobody wanted to talk to me until the teacher made them. That level of awareness I walk with every day of my life, that there are going to be people that don't want to talk to me and people who do. That's okay. But the people that don't, they don't want to make that bridge for me. They don't want to talk to me. That's okay. What can y'all do to make that bridge for Essie? Because there's a lot of people in this area that don't want to talk to her. Just looking at her. They just look at her and they're like, I want to talk to her. They don't want to get to know her. But y'all took the time to make that bridge. Y'all took the time to close that gap. So why don't you guys take the time to make that bridge and talk to your people? Not just talking to them about what happened to Essie, but talk to them about the actual love that Essie is. Because I can tell you this, you can go out there, find the people that be like racist and all that and be like, oh, da, 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 and debate them. They already heard all that dogma. They already heard all that. They don't care. They're not going to change their mind. Instead of trying to debate them all the time, humanize us. Teach them that just like they are people, we are people too. Because they're not going to understand, they're not going to listen to they're not going to listen to us talk about us, because in their mind, they don't care. They will listen to y'all though. Y'all talk about watchdogs. Watchdogs can help a little bit, but that's not going to solve the problem. You guys have to get in their minds and teach them from a systematic level that no matter how much their ideas differentiate from yours, treat people as people. Treat people with love and kindness. That's what you guys should be pursuing the most right now. Not just spreading community awareness, but spreading the love for fellow human beings. That's what this town is really missing. How many times do you guys go out, see something interesting, and actually talk to a person about it, right? Or do you guys just go on about your day? I understand we're all busy. I understand we're all trying to live our lives. But surprisingly not, our lives are interconnected. That's why we feel things that happen to our own neighbors, because our lives are interconnected.
Yes.
So take that interconnection and connect with other people, and that's gonna help you find not just the people that you keep in your circle, but the people that are also a problem. And either you can make an attempt to change their mind, or at least you'll be much more aware of the problems in your community and where you gotta take the time and change. That's what you gotta do. You gotta locate the problem in order to change. Yes, right now Essie needs all the support she needs, and you guys gotta give it to her, but you guys also gotta take this and run with it. Don't let it sit, don't let it stand. You guys have to, in order for you guys to finally finish this problem, you have to keep going with it. Don't stop. Take all this anguish you feel and don't stop. Make sure every single day, if you're gonna walk around, think about Essie, how you can love and how you can change. Thank you.
I just wanted to say something to Gabrielle, what your question was. When something like that happens, go sit with the people it's happening to, go stand with them. Don't let them sit there feeling picked on and alone. Go be with them.
Yeah.
You know, just.
Well, that's the thing to
Can I
do.
make my final, the comment that I wanted to make in the end. I also want to address Edgar. I am sorry for the excited way in which I reacted to your comment in the beginning. I am sorry to everyone here for that reaction. It came from my heart, and I'll tell you why that happened. I was in my office getting ready to come to meet with, this board and any member of town who wanted to hear, who had questions that I could answer. And I was told about what was gonna be happening today. And normally, I would cancel and ask to schedule another day. And I said, no, I am gonna go anyway, knowing that what I had planned to do wasn't going to happen. Why is that? As I said, I know Essie. I know her daughter. I am fond of her and her daughter. I knew her mom when I went to college at New Paltz. I lived in Shango Hall for 2 years when it was a dedicated Black dormitory. I worked in McDonald's right in New Paltz here. I drank the good and bad water of New Paltz. I have experienced everything about New Paltz and went away to Buffalo for law school and chose to come back to New Paltz. So this is my first home, and it will always be that way. No matter where I live. I came here because somebody in New Paltz was hurting. And if it hurts somebody here, it hurts me. If it hurts somebody in Kingston, it hurts me. If it hurts somebody in Texas, it hurts me. That's the human connection that I have for me, I have in me, and I have for everyone. And knowing Essie, knowing her heart, knowing who she is, if I had to cancel a trip to Nigeria to be here, I would have considered that seriously. So I made sure to be here for her, to support you. I know that eventually I may have something to do with the official proceedings when this is resolved. But that resolution is only going to be a formal resolution, like in the courts and all that. The resolution for Essie is the support that you have for her, to give her the comfort to, care for herself and her daughter and continue to move on with strength. And I am here for you. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Anybody wants to speak again?
Thank you. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good night, Manny. Thanks for coming.
We'll see you another time.
Essie, do you want to speak? You want to speak?
Community, you need to organize. Yeah, that's all I have to say. Do it around the Margaret Wade Lewis Center. Independent of all these bureaucratic, institutions.
So I want to thank all of you for coming, and I want to tell you what I have learned tonight from my community. Can't hear me? Oh, gosh. Thank you all for coming. I have learned a lot tonight. I have taken a lot of notes. We have an idea, a suggestion about an anonymous reporting site for tips that would go to the police. These are all ideas, but I'm writing them down. A woman made a very generous offer of starting a reward fund with $1,000. The sheriff's department is investigating this case, so I would suggest that we contact Sheriff Juan Figueroa and ask the sheriff's department how to set up that reward, and then we all donate.
The workshop.
I haven't gotten to that. That came after Albert Cook, which I learned that the Black people who grow up here don't necessarily stay here. And I'm sorry to hear that. It's a lesson. It's a hard lesson to hear, and we need to have the workshop that this gentleman offered to find out what it is about our community that is not welcoming. I will finish and then Limina. Why is it that people who grow up here don't feel welcome here when they grow up? We have a lot to learn about that. Somebody mentioned neighborhood watches. It was my first thought. And then I remembered George Zimmerman, right? Killed Trayvon Martin. So let's think about neighborhood watches, but let's do it right, okay? Let's really do it from the ground up and with peace in our hearts, and not use it as an excuse to exhibit the worst parts of our character. So yes, I think we should talk about neighborhood watches again. That's something that we can sit down with our police. I see Pastor Tobias is here. We have Pastor Limina Harmon.
Pastor Williams as well.
We have another.
Pastor Williams.
Oh, hello, from His Master's Touch. Thank you. I was at your father's service there. So we have the beginnings of a neighborhood watch that has caring for our community as it's at its heart, and not the kind of vengeance that we've seen it used for in the past.
How about paying for the undoing racism?
And that will go into the budget. Let's get it into the budget.
In the budget.
It's in the budget. I remember when my kids went to school, which was actually in the last century, now that I think about it. They had undoing racism classes starting in kindergarten.
That's not.
And I don't know if they still do that anymore, but if that's not happening in our elementary schools, it should be. I remember kids doing role playing. Excuse me?
That's not what we're talking about.
It is what we're talking about. It's from my notes, Donna.
Undoing racism is a.
It wasn't called undoing racism. We're called, when my kids went to school, elementary school, there were programs that taught what racism is to children. And my children came home with an understanding of it. I don't know if those programs are still taught in our elementary schools. Okay. Bring that back right away. Because as this last young woman said, she first started experiencing racism in kindergarten. And that is not acceptable. Racism against political figures is not new in our community. I worked on Antonio Delgado's campaign. We all know what that looked like. I worked on Manny Naji's campaign. We all know about the racism that came at him. But it has never been the atrocity that we have seen against our esteemed colleague who has always brought integrity and a passion for justice to her work. And it has been an honor to serve on the town board next to her. And I just want to echo the final message that is, we need to treat each other with love and kindness. And I think that's what came into this room. And I hope that's what we leave this room with tonight. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. So to clarify a couple of things, because I think it's really important. I know we're all tired. I'm so tired in so many ways. The EO203 Commission, and I think every member of the commission has been represented here tonight, put together a detailed plan for how we could move ourselves forward as a community, recognizing that in the moment we started that work, we were already in a backslide. We gave an order of operations. You do this, and then you do that. Why? Because things build upon each other. It didn't happen. For a million, oh, we don't have the money, and oh, we can't do this, and oh, but what about that, and oh, no. So we got here because we were at best complacent, but really because that's what systemic racism does, is it says, no, we're all nice people, so we don't need to do this work, right? That's how we got here, was by not doing the work. So we know what we need to do. We know what the trainings are. We know. I will tell you that our schools have backslid. They have backslid. So pay attention, run for school board. Recognize that your friends and neighbors of color who have stood up to serve, we're talking to ourselves because our colleagues are not listening. So hold our colleagues accountable.
Yeah.
Hold our colleagues accountable. Use the experts that you have. Sheldon, I see you. Right? Use the experts that you have. We have volunteered ourselves again and again and again to do the work. We're here. We will do the work, but we can't do the work alone, and we can't do the work when we're being fought to do the work. Right? So I will volunteer right now. The New Connections Methodist Church on Main Street, y'all walk by it, you have to. Because this is the work that we as a congregation have committed to. We will host this work. People behave better in a church, y'all. Whatever you believe, you're gonna behave better in a church. We will do that. I will commit to making that happen. And we will do it again and again and again for anyone and everyone who will show up. I just committed you to a lot, I'm sorry. I will do it again and again and again. Sheldon will do it as many times as he feels like he wants to do it. We will do this work, but we have to actually do the work And when you see it not being done, you have to stand up and somebody, please God, run for school board.
Yeah.
Because it's bad. It's bad. Run, join the police commission, whatever that ends up looking like. It's bad. Apparently there's 2 seats for town board. Run for town board, because it's bad. That's what we do. Rather than just talking. And hopefully we also all go get dinner. And maybe to bed.
Great, thank you.
I would like to add one last thing, because something in me is not leaving this meeting at ease. And maybe it's just me, like, I feel like we're not really, it's just, there's no conclusion, there's no easy feeling about this. So I personally, maybe I just didn't hear it because I'm not really feeling well, but I come from the Bronx where, someone mentioned that her child, the guy here, I'm so sorry to say, that the child would be taken care of, but what about Essie? Because to my understanding, Essie and her child is one. That's how I was raised. It's not separate things. So how is Essie and her child being taken care of, and how are they being protected? I'm not hearing any correlation in that. So I want to know, because this meeting wrapping up and I feel nothing.
Yes.
I don't feel any attention has been lifted. I'd like to say something. I've been very quiet. I'm very much an observer before I speak. I've been keeping myself really calm, cool, collected.
What's your name?
My name is Abby. I am a senior at SUNY New Paltz University. I'm part of the Black Studies Department and the Scholars Mentorship Program, which was founded by Margaret Wade Lewis. So I try to keep myself very quiet, very calm, cool, collected. I was told to calm down because I was very, very truly livid, and I still am. I don't feel like there was anything. I'm hearing a lot of things, and yes, it's very nice, but I'm not hearing anything that's beneficial. On top of that, for my campus, no one in their mind knew what was going on. If you were not fortunate to be part of the Black Studies Department, that Professor Dandridge over there had to send us an email last night. None of us knew this was going on. Nobody. Not only did I ran to my Instagram to talk about it on my story because nobody knew what was going on. I had people blowing up my phone, asking me what is going on, what happened. I did not know what was happening. Because nobody on our campus decides to think that it's a big deal. It's not, obviously it's not that big of a deal to not let our whole entire campus know that whether it's a hate crime or not, since it's an investigation, obviously it's a hate crime. Call it what you want. It's a kill, it's a kill. So I don't understand, why is it that no one's talking about this? No one's talking about this. There wasn't an email that gets sent out. We get sent out emails whenever there's a police investigation or anything going on this campus or impacts any student or professor on this campus, and no one knows anything about it. No one's talking about it at all. So I'm livid at the fact that I feel like it's like a lot of talk, but there's no actions. There's no recognition. There's no condolences. There's nothing to comfort Essie Lewis at all in this position at all. I didn't feel like there was any type of thing at all. And trust me, for those that, because Professor Dandridge knows I'm very busy. I made sure that I came here today to support Miss Essie Lewis, because since I came to this campus, Miss Essie Lewis has been nothing but utterly kind to me. Before I barely even knew the woman, and she was just the sweetest person I've ever met. Sweetest person. Anybody that in the Scholars Mentorship Program knows Essie Lewis and knows her legacy and knows how nice of a person she is. So when I heard this, I promise you, I was not shocked about anything when it comes to my people being targeted. I was not shocked at all. I was mostly shocked at why Essie? Why? What did she do to have that happen in the first place? What happened? Why? I didn't even know this was even a possibility of it even happening. But at the end of the day, we're outnumbered, per usual. It's unfortunate that it happened, yes. But I'm just really upset. Why Essie? What made you come to the conclusion that it would be okay for you not only to target Essie, but her daughter? Her daughter who goes to school up here and has to deal with that attention that
Chief Deputy does not need and does not want right now. That is unfair to her child and not to her child and Effie. That's extra stuff you should lay on the table over just having to already deal with the fact that there's already racism to begin with. Then we gotta deal with her being targeted and her child. That's ridiculous. And I have not heard not a damn thing about how we're gonna protect her. And that's why I don't feel like this, I feel like I sat here and I'm just like, what?
Okay, one thing that we have done is we retained an attorney, okay, before the incident on Monday. Okay, because we are having issues, with the police department and the town board and the local government here to protect ourselves. Okay, so that's a fact, that's a concern that we've had. And I urge people to organize. Okay, and out of this group, there should be a call for a time and place for interested people to come together and examine some of the many proposals that have been made here tonight. But you're absolutely right, you know, I've done it for 53 years. Now I need a new generation of folks, you know, I'll pass information, I'll participate, but you folks, if you're really serious about this, and whomever is the new town board, come November or whatever election day is, that will also determine what's going to happen, because there's an election going on right now. So the town board, we have 5 members, there will be 4 new members after November something, after election day. We don't know which way it's going to go.
You mentioned generation, but we are the new generation. So I'm just like, I have no words. Like, we need something better than, I understand what you're saying, but we need something better than just, we need action.
Can you
We are the new
give
generation
us-
where we hear you guys and I hear you, ma'am, but notes is not enough. We need.
I hear
to
you.
actually-
Tell me what to do.
We need,
Really,
we need action.
It's a suggestion by.
We need action. And I'm so lost for words because I don't.
I'm gonna offer something. I'm gonna offer something from the village. The village is offering at the village hall, which is 25 Plattekill Avenue, write it down. On October 17th, a week from tomorrow. Shall we say 7 o'clock, as we often have meetings at 7 o'clock? Does that sound good? 7 o'clock on October 17th, we're gonna have a follow-up meeting. We're gonna talk about what we can do, solid, actual, actionable things. I will have worked, I pledge that I will have worked and put together at least 1 or 2 actionable things that the village can and will do. The mayor and I are making this space available, like I said, 25 Plattekill Avenue, a week from tomorrow, 7 o'clock. Let's keep working.
It's a half a block from the old main building,
It's a half block from the old main building.
half a block.
So I pledge that I am going to do the work. And I will give you things that are happening, that are within my purview. I will pull in the county government, the town if they will take part. The legislature, I got a legislator here, I can talk to Jen Metzger, who was here earlier, who is the Elster County executive. And we will.
and Donna,
actually
how about campus security? Because it sounds like the kids are not feeling safe walking.
We never felt safe. I never felt safe. My freshman year, there was a leash hanging from our tree during Black History Month. I've never felt safe on this campus since my freshman year. And nothing got changed from that. Nothing got changed. There was no.
Okay, so we
there was
need
no
campus
outreach,
security
there was nothing.
too.
I've never felt safe on this campus.
So I will.
Nobody
I
was
will-
speaking openly in front of campus security, because campus security is part of the problem. though.
Yeah, part of the problem, we're not.
Well, then let's expose that.
Telling you, we will.
Let's expose that.
Put together a meeting starting right now, and I will put up or shut up. For real, for real. I'm from Brooklyn, I don't play. But go around and find out, okay, I'm not. So let's do that.
Donna,
Louder.
could I ask the village to post something on the website about it?
Absolutely, we will post on the website, I will share it on Facebook and post it on the website.
I suck at Insta. You wanna show me how to use it, I will do that too.
10-second question.
Molding building.
10-second question real quick. Deep breath, y'all, into the nose, out the mouth. You gotta hold on to your joy. The world will try to steal it from you. All right, listen, another one of my sayings I like to say. That's a quick question. And I'm not sure where you're at right now, I just wanted to put it out there. There are a lot of different solutions to a problem, and we understand that no problem exists in a vacuum. There are a variety of different steps that are gonna have to occur. As I came into this space and people have been asking me all week, what are you gonna do? I said, I'm fine with Essie, period. I know what everybody else got ideas and stuff like that, right? Because I honor your service, I honor your humanity, I honor your intelligence, I honor your commitment, I honor your hard work ethic, I honor that you got some visions about how you would like to move forward. Some questions that have come up is, what would you like us to do in terms of investing, like our time and our money? And again, if you don't have capacity to share that right now, we honor that too.
Yes.
So I was not planning on saying anything because I'm shattered.
You don't have to.
Beside myself in this. This is really nice, y'all. It's really nice, but I can't go home. And at the end of the day, I don't feel safe in my home. And so I don't really have the capacity to give you all answers. I've given this board so many answers on what to do. We got here for a reason because you let us get here. I'm not giving you any more answers because you're not listening. I don't have the capacity. My heart is broken. I, in trying to serve this community, have failed my child.
You have not.
I don't have anything else to say.
You have not filled your father.
Maybe we need to have cars sit on her driveway, people volunteer in shifts or something.
She doesn't feel safe in her home. As a black woman, she doesn't feel safe in her home, so.
Her child at home.
Her child.
Not.
Yeah, like.
Her child.
It's her child.
It was Essie's childhood home. That's where she grew up.
Exactly. So.
I mean, that's a suggestion that I have, people can volunteer and.
I just wanna say that right now, one practical thing we can do is get SE the best security system.
Yes.
And that, I'd be happy to be a center point to do that and do it quickly. To do whatever research quickly to do it, unless somebody else knows. That is something we can do right now. Besides organizing and educating the children especially, but everybody about what it means to be a human being. But practically speaking, the security system has to happen right now.
I have an appointment, but it takes some time.
So I'm, you can see me outside. I'm happy to take your names, whatever, and you can participate in financing that. Okay.
I feel so numb. I don't feel like. How can we ensure that she's going to get home safe? How are we going to ensure that until that security system happens, how do we ensure her safety? Like, it's like no one's really hearing her. She just said she doesn't feel safe in her home. Yes, the security system is good, but is that happening right now? Is it being solved right now? No. What are we doing right now? Is anyone caring for her mental health? Where is she supposed to go? I'm not hearing that. Where is she supposed to go? How is she supposed to feel safe? Where's her child gonna go? I'm not hearing solutions for these very specific problems that are happening right now. We're thinking about long-term stuff, but we're not thinking about something that's happening right now.
Right.
I needed something right now.
Some of us have offered our home, but that is not something that everybody wants.
Well, maybe it could be still taken to the board, the village website, or maybe it shouldn't be, I don't know, but, do a sign up to somebody be around, for 2 hours of every time block. for 4 hours every time. You know, I'll say, I'll go tomorrow, I'll go tonight and spend 4 hours there, or 5 hours there, who will follow me?
Maybe we should ask Jessie if she's even comfortable with this discussion.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, I'm a little, that's what I'm asking, is what do you guys do?
Right. So,
You don't have to answer.
do you?
have to know, you don't have to answer.
Right.
It's up to you.
Oh, am I comfortable with the conversation?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, I think it's important. I think these young people are spot on, right? They get it. They understand that this is, there are some serious issues that I'm dealing with that can't just be, that haven't been dealt with, but it's clear that that's not gonna happen here, right? It's not really. Yeah, so it's like, it's even worse. It's like heart-wrenching for us to sit here and keep having this conversation. So I'm gonna go. This is lovely. I really appreciate it, but this is a lot. So if people, you know what I mean, can't make people do something. So.
I think, when Essie leaves the building, maybe it's time for us all to go home. Are we? You wanna attend the meeting?
I sat here long enough. I'm Mrs. Pastor. And I'm father. My recommendation to you right now is to get away. Get away from the environment. Take a car, go someplace. To line to get back home. Find a place now. That wanna do something for her, give her money that she can go away. Get her mind together, get herself together, so she can sort this all out. Everybody's giving her stuff right here. She's trying to figure out life. Right. Give her the opportunity. Get away. And get herself together. So you wanna do something?
Yeah.
Let her get a chance to get herself together.
Yeah.
You said mental? Let her get herself mentally stable.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Love you.
All right, so let's give it your money and let's.
So are we gonna adjourn the meeling?
Yeah, this meeting is tabled.
Yeah. Well, I just let people know they can officially leave. I don't wanna stay. Rosanna, I think the meeting is over.
I'm just gonna have to read it. Thank you all for coming.